What is the deal, YouTube? What's the deal, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Hard-hitting sports in your face. So we're going to talk about Dolphins versus the Raiders. If you did not get to check out Dolphin Fan Voices, that episode was up this morning. So go ahead and check that out. But let's dive right into the stats for this game. On the Raiders side, Derek Carr, 21 for 30, 300 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. Marshawn Lynch ran for 14 carries, 57 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Jared Cook was the killer on the Dolphin Fan Voices podcast. My co-host Ron said that he was afraid of what Jared Cook would do in the middle of the field. And he was absolutely right, as Jared Cook in that first half would look like he was open, like every single goddamn play he was open. Like I'm sitting here going, fuck, can we please cover this motherfucker? Can we please come up now? In the second half, he cooled off a little bit. But that first half, man, he was making Kiko Alonso look like trash over and over and over again. He ended up with 8 catches for 126 yards. Amari Cooper, 4 catches, 58 yards. 3 catches for 40 yards. And if you look at the stats from their receivers, Amari Cooper led their receivers, 4 catches, 58 yards. But, like, they didn't really have the game that, you know, like our cornerbacks didn't get roasted. Our cornerbacks didn't play a bad game. Amari Cooper, only 4 catches, 58 yards. Crabtree, 3 catches, 40 yards. Like, not a really bad game from our secondary as far as our corners are concerned. That one penalty versus, I think that was versus Howard, set them up just outside the 1-yard line, if I'm not mistaken, and that turned into one of those Marshawn Lynch runs. But other than that, I mean, not really a lot of mistakes made by the cornerbacks. The mistakes were more made to me by the linebackers and by the safeties. Next week, we end up getting TJ McDonald back. But let's go over some of the stats for the Dolphins. Jay Cutler looked pretty good. He did not look bad. He threw for 311 yards, 3 touchdowns. Kenyon Drake, 9 rushes for 69 yards. Damian Williams, 7 rushes for 14 yards. So, I mean, the tandem out of the backfield didn't look terrible. They looked pretty good. Julius Thomas ends up leading us in receptions and yards, as he caught 6 receptions for 84 yards and a touchdown. Damian Williams got a nice-looking touchdown where he spent around and dove into the end zone. But what it came down to for the Dolphins was it came down to penalties. Stupid penalties in tough spots. There was one penalty where Damian Williams caught the ball. He broke like a 20-yard run, and it was called back on a holding penalty on a receiver. Too many penalties for the Miami Dolphins. And when you're playing good teams, penalties, turnovers, that type of shit can kill you. Miami ended up with 11 penalties for 107 yards. Turnovers, I mean, the defense gave us plenty of turnovers in this game. Plenty of turnovers. 2 forced fumbles and an interception, 3 turnovers, and I don't think we got a point out of any of the turnovers. Those are things that you have to capitalize on. If the defense is giving you 3 fucking turnovers, you got to capitalize on it. In this game, going up against one of the better offensive lines in football, our pass rush didn't get shit done other than one Ndamukong Suh sack. For the rest of that, our defensive ends were fairly neutralized, but it didn't really matter if you look at the stats. Cooper, Crabtree, neither one of those guys really got away. So that's just something to, even though it's a loss, it takes us to 4-4. Those young cornerbacks played a pretty fucking good game. Wasn't a bad game, Wasn't a terrible game. We didn't get roasted all over the place. Pretty good game. One breakdown in coverage. I think it was a 44-yard touchdown to the wide receiver. I don't know who that was on. I have to go back and look at the film on that. But not a terrible game for our corners, at least. Linebackers, coverage scheme in that first half of the game, I do not understand. It's hard. I don't know who to blame for this loss. The O-line did good, but at the same time did bad. I thought the O-line got bad when James went out. The O-line was playing very good football up until James went out. When James went out, that's when shit went downhill. That's when you start seeing Khalil Mack coming into the backfield and hitting Jay Cutler. But until that point, Khalil Mack was neutralized. James did a great job on Khalil Mack. Bruce Irvin, I didn't hear his name all fucking game. So a lot to like about this this game, and then there's a lot not to like. The fact that we got 3 turnovers, and wasn't able to put turn those turnovers into points. That's tough. That's really tough on an offense that needs every single point that we could get. And this is a team in the Raiders that's missing 3 people out of their secondary. And yet we're not able to get points. So really tough, head-scratching loss. It wasn't an ass whooping. We didn't get our ass eviscerated. But in the end of the day, we end up 4-4. And we're going down that murderous stretch for us. Now we head down that stretch of games that I was afraid of. Now we head down a stretch where we play the Panthers, who are currently sitting number 1. The Buccaneers, all of a sudden, become the easiest game in that. But I'm still afraid of them. I'm still afraid of that Buccaneer team because of Mike Evans and Bray and Deshaun Jackson and what they can do with that offense. Then we play the Patriots twice in 3 weeks. Broncos, they garbage ass quarterback. That might be a victory. We might be able to get that victory out of there. But this is a bunch of tough games. In that you got Buffalo as well, who they're playing good football. You got Kansas City coming up. They're playing good football. This is that stretch of football where shit starts getting real tough. Real tough. Actually, it started last week with the Ravens, where I thought we would, start to see those games that are real tough for us. And it's the reason why coming into this season, when we lost Ryan Tannehill, why my prediction went from 10 games to 4 games was because of this. But you know what, though? I will say this. Jay Cutler right now is not playing bad football. The game he played, this was by far the best, and this is, I haven't looked at the film. So this is just me looking at live game speed. And I don't often do that shit and make an assessment on what I see from a player. But Jay Cutler played pretty good football tonight. Ball placement looked a lot better, giving receivers an opportunity to make catches. No turnovers from Jay Cutler. That's something that should make everybody happy. If this would have came in a win, this would have been fucking fantastic. Right now, Jay Cutler, a 10 touchdown to 5 interception ratio. That's good. I'll take that right now. That's a nice ratio. I'm not mad about that. Ball placement looked a lot better. There were a few balls that I wish would have been just a little slightly misplaced, but I'm not going to nitpick on that. I saw improvement tonight. Good improvement. So, wow. 4-4. Carolina Panthers are next. Another playoff caliber football team. I think they're 6-3 right now. Let me double check that. Carolina Panthers are 6-3 and leading their division. Cam Newton's coming to town. We're gonna have to deal with Cam moving the pocket. Good thing. I'm not gonna say good, not a good thing, because I don't want to wish injury. But we don't have to play Greg Olsen in this game, and they got rid of Calvin Benjamin. So those are a couple things that on the bright side, you know. We still will have to deal with Funches and McCaffrey, and that's it. I don't know who else they have on that team. So, and of course they have a defense led by Luke Kuechly that we're gonna have to deal with. So we shall see, folks. 4-4, but a lot to look. Not a lot of doom, and you won't get a lot of doom and gloom from me from this one. Few penalties. That shit's got to be cleaned up. But this should have been a win. Should have been a win. Anyway, man, I will talk to you guys next time. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter. If you're not following me on Twitter already, the Twitter handle is @Casuwell. That's @KASUWELL. Dolphin Fan Voices this week will be on, I think we play the Panthers on Monday, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we play the Panthers on Monday, November the 13th. So Dolphin Fan Voices will be on Sunday night at 7 o'clock. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm off that night. So we will be here. We'll be live, and we'll be talking Dolphin football as we face the Panthers on the 13th. A lot to be happy about. There was a lot of good spots, but there were some bad spots, and you got to clean it up when you're playing against a talented team with a quarterback that's as talented as Carr, running back as talented as Marshawn Lynch. Anyway, man, I will talk to you guys next time. Peace.